Danger here, welcoming you back to another exciting edition of WFS Showdown. We've got a lot in store for you today. I had the absolute privilege of sitting down with the new WFS president, White Lightning, Tim Horner, and we'll see that interview later in the program. In addition, sensational Wayne Atkins will be in action today, and in our main event, we will see the Doctor of Destruction, Joe Briggs, in action. So much action. All of that and much more. Jonathan Darwin will join us from ringside a little later in the program, but right now we're going to get our first commercial break out of the way. Don't touch that dial. Everything you love from the World Fighting Showcase right after this. The World Fighting Showcase returns live to CJ's Bar and Grill in Kingsport, Tennessee, Saturday, May the 15th at 8 p.m. You'll see all the stars of the World Fighting Showcase compete inside the ring in the Barroom Brawl for the CJ's Bar Championship. Also, the Ultimate Athlete, David Anthony, will be in action defending his WFS American Championship. All the stars of the World's Fighting Showcase, the action you have come to expect from the WFS, Saturday, May the 15th, 8 p.m. at CJ's Bar in Kingsport, Tennessee. The World Fighting Showcase, where we fight strong. Fight fans, Dallas Danger here, and if you're like me, you love all the action here on WFS Showdown every single week, but you don't want to wait until Saturday to see all the stars of the World Fighting Showcase. Well, I have great news for you. If you go to WFSinsider.com and become a subscriber today, you'll be the first to see Showdown each and every week. WFSinsider.com. For less than $5 a month, you can become an insider.
Is not just a podcast. House of Kayfabe with Brian Resner and Stephen New. This is a tribe of devoted super fans that have crashed through the barricades, torn down barriers, and broken through the fourth wall. This is a creative think tank full of people who have given way too much of their lives to professional wrestling to not be getting a paycheck. This is a secret society of elite fans from all over the globe. And guess what? It isn't a secret anymore.
House of Kayfabe, featuring Jim Cornette's lawyer, Stephen P. New, is available now on all major podcast platforms. Just click subscribe to join the Kayfabe stream and get access to unbelievable interviews, in-depth discussions, hilarious segments, and exclusive content. This is the fan-driven podcast you have been looking for.
House of Kayfabe with Brian Resner and Stephen New.
I've got to tell you, lad, this has been such an amazing time. So, speaking to the World Fighting Showcase, speaking to the residents of Bluefield, West Virginia, and speaking to you, Crash Cassidy, in case you don't know who I am because you have been residing underneath a rock, my name is Lord Murphy Costigan. I am your World Fighting Showcase television champion of going on 700 days. Now, as you may have noticed, I'm not in Bluefield because I'm currently here in the amazing, exquisite city of New Orleans, currently in my suite, one of the best top-notch suites this amazing city has to offer. You see, Crash, I can afford to do that. I can afford to go anywhere and everywhere that I so choose. Meanwhile, you can barely afford to go from the wrestling venue back to that single wide trailer you live in with you and your family. Because let's be honest with each other, Crash, shall we? Let's be honest with everyone else as well. Roles reversed, you would much rather be here in New Orleans instead of being in Bluefield. But Crash, you can't be. You can't be, lad, because as I have always told you, I will continue to be on a higher social standing than you. And I've got to tell you, this has been one of the best times of my life. I've been engaging in everything from amazing live music, exquisite cuisine, to delicious spirits. It's just been quite the experience, and who knows, maybe I'll never leave. No, I'm just joking. Of course I'm going to leave, Crash. I've got to come to Bluefield to put you and everyone else in your place. See you soon.
This contest, scheduled for one fall, will have a 10-minute time limit. Introducing first, from Sarasota, Florida, weighing in at 190 pounds, Nate Diamond. And from Christiansburg, Virginia, weighing in at 320 pounds, Crash Cassidy.
And we're back with more World Fighting Showcase here in Bluefield, West Virginia, as we see Crash Cassidy going one-on-one against Nate Diamond. Nate Diamond with the big side headlock there. And look at the way that Nate Diamond's continuing to stay on top of Crash Cassidy. And he's going to have to if he expects to get the W here today, because he's given up about 100 pounds on Crash Cassidy as he works on both the left and right arm of Crash Cassidy and just pulls the arm out as Nate Diamond continues to work on the right arm of Crash Cassidy, trying to slow him down. And Crash Cassidy with a great center of gravity. He ain't moving anywhere. Nate Diamond might as well be trying to whip a tree trunk, but he gets whipped by his own, and Crash Cassidy down slams Diamond. You hear the admiration from the fans here in Bluefield. Crash Cassidy, a hometown favorite, outstanding tackle at Bluefield College. And Crash Cassidy now helping Nate Diamond up. Getting ready. Oh, what a great forearm by Crash Cassidy now, as he whips Nate Diamond over to the corner, and Diamond goes down from the sidewalk slam. Two count only though there. And Crash Cassidy could have really damaged the vertebrae of Nate Diamond with that sidewalk slam as Crash Cassidy continues the assault. Oh, I thought I was going to see it, but Nate Diamond decides to use the eye rake and just taking the eye sockets of Crash Cassidy across that rope as Crash Cassidy continues to get pummeled by Nate Diamond. Nate Diamond whipping Crash Cassidy over into the corner, and a humongous clothesline, and wow, a bulldog to Cassidy. Nate Diamond goes for the quick cover. 1, 2, no! I tell you what, give something to Nate Diamond for what he's pulling out of his toolbox against Crash Cassidy here today. Crash Cassidy with a fantastic strike to the solar plexus and a couple of other rights. Down goes Diamond. And Crash Cassidy regained his composure to continue this assault on Nate Diamond. And Crash picks up Diamond. Whoa, I thought he was going to, but look how quick Nate Diamond is. Oh, Diamond, you gotta be kidding. He's gonna try to pick up Crash Cassidy? Wait a minute, what's this? You gotta be kidding. 2 count. Even with trying to grab the trunks, the upper body strength was enough for Crash Cassidy to kick out of that pin attempt by Nate Diamond. Fantastic right forearm by Nate Diamond now on a back rake. And Nate Diamond, multiple kicks to the stomach region. As we see Nate Diamond coming in like a head full of steam and a splash to Crash Cassidy. Are we going to see the Bulldog again? No. Diamond decides to come off the ropes and mix it up a little. And that clothesline may have knocked Diamond right out of his boots. Can Crash Cassidy get over to cover him? Or is Nate Diamond going to have the time to recover? Cassidy measuring Diamond. Got him picked up. And a slam right down. And Crash Cassidy with the humongous slam.
Crash Cassidy!
With the humongous slam, Crash Cassidy continues his winning ways here in World Fighting Showcase.
The World Fighting Showcase returns live to CJ's Bar and Grill in Kingsport, Tennessee, Saturday, May the 15th at 8 p.m. You'll see all the stars of the World Fighting Showcase compete inside the ring in the Barroom Brawl for the CJ's Bar Championship. Also, the Ultimate Athlete, David Anthony, will be in action defending his WFS American Championship. All the stars of the World's Fighting Showcase, the action you have come to expect from the WFS, Saturday, May the 15th, 8 p.m. at CJ's Bar in Kingsport, Tennessee. The World Fighting Showcase, where we fight strong. Hello fight fans, Dallas Danger here, and if you're like me, you love all the action here on WFS Showdown every single week, but you don't want to wait until Saturday to see all the stars of the World Fighting Showcase. Well, I have great news for you. If you go to WFSinsider.com and become a subscriber today, you'll be the first to see Showdown each and every week. WFSinsider.com. For less than $5 a month, you can become an insider.
This is not just a podcast. House of Kayfabe with Brian Resner and Stephen New. This is a tribe of devoted super fans that have crashed through the barricades, torn down barriers, and broken through the fourth wall. This is a creative think tank full of people who have given way too much of their lives to professional wrestling to not be getting a paycheck. This is a secret society of elite fans from all over the globe. And guess what? It isn't a secret anymore.
House of Kayfabe, featuring Jim Cornette's lawyer, Stephen P. New, is available now on all major podcast platforms. Just click subscribe to join the Kayfabe stream and get access to unbelievable interviews, in-depth discussions, hilarious segments, and exclusive content. This is the fan-driven podcast you have been looking for.
House of Kayfabe with Brian Resner and Stephen New.
absolute pleasure of being joined right now by the new World Fighting Showcase president, a man that you all will probably recognize from his illustrious in-ring career as a competitor. That, of course, is White Lightning, Tim Horner. Mr. Horner, thank you so much for joining.
Thank you, Dallas. It's a great honor to be here. I'm so excited when I got the call to come and meet you and be with everybody. So I'm really excited.
That's great. We're excited to have you here in the WFS. And you know, I touched on your career as a competitor inside the squared circle. And that was a career that took you all over. You truly wrestled everywhere that there was to wrestle. You've seen everything there is to see. And what I'd like to know from you is, how do you think that will affect the way that you perform in the role as the head honcho, so to speak, of the World Fighting Showcase now?
Well, when you've seen it all, you've done it all. And as you said, I've had the opportunity to wrestle in all 50 states and 28 different countries for a lot of people, a lot of promotions, and you learn as you go. You learn a lot of things as you're traveling and different promotions. You always learn because everybody does it different. So, and I had the opportunity to study under one of the best, Bullet Bob Armstrong, who was commissioner of Smoky Mountain Wrestling, and you know, he was just a mountain of knowledge, and I soaked in everything I could get from him.
Absolutely. So I would suffice it to say that if things get a little heated in the World Fighting Showcase, you have no problem doing just as Bullet Bob Armstrong did back in those days and stepping right in and getting in between, you know, some rivals, some guys that maybe can't keep their hands off of each other.
Yeah, absolutely. But you know, once a wrestler, always a wrestler. And sometimes, you know, I stepped back when Brad passed and kind of got away from the business for a while and spent some time with my girls and my family. But you know, you never get away from the wrestling. You can not be as active, but you're still a wrestler, and you still get involved with different things. And so, yeah, I don't have a problem. Some may know my background. I'm a bail bondsman, fugitive recovery agent, and I've trained with Army Rangers and urban tactics and a lot of stuff. So I have no problem mixing it up.
All right, Mr. Horner, well, it definitely sounds like the Tim. My apologies, Tim. It
Mr. Horner was my dad.
I understand. Well, it sounds like the competitors, the superstars here in the WFS, better be on their P's and Q's, or it's going to be trouble for them. Now, a situation that has presented itself here recently that I know you are certainly keeping a watchful eye over as a professional, but also as a personal friend to the troublemaker Brian Logan is you know, he comes out in front of, you know, practically hometown, at least home state fans, to try and hang it up, leave his boots in the ring and step off into the sunset, so to speak. And the WFS World Tag Team Champions, the Heat Seekers, certainly had other ideas and left Brian Lane, stole his boots, which, as you know, are a symbol of a veteran competitor like yourself, like Brian Logan. So just talk to me about what's going through your mind as you see this footage and you consider, you know, what is to be done from the standpoint of the World Fighting Showcase and how you're trying to maybe separate the personal from the professional in this instance.
Well, I met Brian when he was just out of high school. His dad brought him to me and said, "This is all he's talked about. He's yours." And so I took him under my wing, and probably, without a doubt, was my best student. I'll just go ahead and say it. You know, he caught on quick, and you know, and just I see a lot of him in me. As when you study under somebody, you kind of pick their habits up. So absolutely. I hope it's helped him. As you said, I am aware of the situation. I am aware who the heat seekers are. It's tough enough when you go out there and do what he was trying to do, is lay your boots down and say, I'm done. But to have the heat seekers do what they did and humiliate him, you know, it just really ticks me off. You know, but I'm in a position now where I'm just going to sit back and see what happens, and if need be that I need to step in, don't think I won't.
Absolutely. Well, Tim, the next situation I'd like to touch on here in this interview is what's been going on now between our television champion, Murphy Costigan, who is sort of conspicuous by his absence from television recently, and Crash Cassidy, who feels like that's an injustice to the World Fighting Showcase and the fans that are in attendance and watching at home, that our television champion has not been appearing on television. And Crash has frankly, no better way to put it, he's called out Murphy and basically said he's waiting on him. So I just want to know what the official World Fighting Showcase stance is on the television champion not being present, and what you have planned for Murphy as well as Crash Cassidy in the future.
Well, if you're the TV champ, you need to be the TV champ, and you need to be on TV. I'm not going to have any closet champions. If you're man enough to go out and win that title, then you're man enough to defend it every time. And Crash has done all he can to try to make Murphy be there. I mean, he's not his babysitter or nothing, but he's looking for an opportunity, and I'm going to make sure that opportunity happens.
And an opportunity I think Crash Cassidy certainly deserves.
Absolutely.
Well, Tim, it's great to have you here in the World Fighting Showcase. We look forward to your time as the president here, and I thank you again for your time today. I'm sure the fans are really enjoying this. It's a special treat for me, and I'm sure it is for them as well. I had one last thing I wanted to touch on, and that is just for the folks watching at home, what can they expect from the World Fighting Showcase now that you, Tim Horner, are the president?
Well, I want them to expect the best. If you're not working to be the best, then you're never going to be the best. So I've only been president for a short time, but I can tell you in that short time, I'm getting emails and calls from all over the world, from young fighters and old fighters and everybody who has heard of WFS, want to be a part of it. So my goal is to bring the best that we can find, the best that we can get in here, and have the best fighting showcase there is.
Well, that sounds great to me. I'm sure it sounds great to the wonderful fans at home. Folks, as you can hear, Tim Horner excited to be the new WFS president, and the standard here is just raising every day under his watch. The World Fighting Showcase returns live to CJ's Bar and Grill in Kingsport, Tennessee, Saturday, May the 15th at 8 p.m. You'll see all the stars of the World Fighting Showcase compete inside the ring in the Barroom Brawl for the CJ's Bar Championship. Also, the Ultimate Athlete, David Anthony, will be in action defending his WFS American Championship. All the stars of the World's Fighting Showcase, the action you have come to expect from the WFS, Saturday, May the 15th, 8 p.m. at CJ's Bar in Kingsport, Tennessee. The World Fighting Showcase, where we fight strong. Hello fight fans, Dallas Danger here, and if you're like me, you love all the action here on WFS Showdown every single week, but you don't want to wait until Saturday to see all the stars of the World Fighting Showcase. Well, I have great news for you. If you go to WFSinsider.com and become a subscriber today, you'll be the first to see Showdown each and every week. WFSinsider.com. For less than $5 a month, you can become an insider.
This is not just a podcast. House of Kayfabe with Brian Resner and Stephen New. This is a tribe of devoted superfans that have crashed through the barricades, torn down barriers, and broken through the fourth wall. This is a creative think tank full of people who have given way too much of their lives to professional wrestling to not be getting a paycheck. This is a secret society of elite fans from all over the globe. And guess what? It isn't a secret anymore.
House of Kayfabe, featuring Jim Cornette's lawyer, Stephen P. New, is available now on all major podcast platforms. Just click subscribe to join the Kayfabe stream and get access to unbelievable interviews, in-depth discussions, hilarious segments, and exclusive content. This is the fan-driven podcast you have been looking for.
House of Kayfabe with Brian Resner and Stephen New.
This contest scheduled for one fall will have a 10-minute time limit. Introducing first, from Jonesboro, Tennessee, weighing in tonight at 155 pounds, Chris Magnus. And his opponent, from Kingsport, Tennessee, weighing in at 195 pounds, sensational Wayne Adkins.
And two Tennesseans to square off here in World Fighting Showcase. This is the voice of tradition, Jonathan Darwin, here to call the action for you. As we got a collar elbow tie-up to start between Chris Magnus and sensational Wayne Adkins. Referee calling for the clean break, and he does get one by sensational Wayne Adkins. Both men have told me they hold each other in high esteem, as Wayne Adkins now puts that wrist lock on the left wrist of Chris Magnus. And Wayne Adkins working, but look at the roll through by Chris Magnus as he gets back up to that vertical base and reverses the wrist lock for his favor. As I was saying earlier, both men hold each other in high regard for each other, and they want nothing more to have that clear and decisive victory over the other. So there is no doubt of which one of them is the better competitor here in World Fighting Showcase. As we see Wayne Adkins in control here, a 40-pound weight advantage over Chris Magnus. And we'll have to see if that extra strength comes into play for Wayne Adkins' favor, as Wayne Adkins with a shoulder tackle takes down Chris Magnus now, going down and with... Well, I thought Chris Magnus was going to get the hip toss, but Wayne Adkins with that fantastic upper body strength says, not today, I'm going to hip toss you. And now a side headlock by sensational Wayne Adkins to Chris Magnus. And a great headlock takeover to slow the pace of the match down, going for the pin there. I tell you, that's something you don't see every day. Chris Magnus now down on the mat as he could be getting a little wore out, but no, great head scissors. And Wayne Adkins kicks out with the very much great ease. And now arm drag takedown by Chris Magnus takes Wayne Adkins out of commission just momentarily. And now can Wayne Adkins fight back? Yes, he does. And Wayne Adkins now with a great takeover and goes back to the side headlock. 2 count only, though. And that's what you're going to see out of Wayne Atkins. Wayne Atkins is that type of competitor that's going to go right back to working on the previous body part that he did just a moment ago. As Chris Magnus tries to fight back and get with the head scissors again, and he does. And this time, Wayne Atkins having a little bit of trouble to get out, but does find a way to break free. One half of a Greco-Roman knuckle lock, but look at the speed of Magnus going up and over and drags Wayne Atkins down to the mat. Now, great arm drag by this young man. Chris Magnus thought he was going to get it, but a hip toss took over. And look at Wayne Atkins as he goes right back to that side headlock on the mat, keeping Chris Magnus grounded. And Magnus thought he was going to get something, but it just shows you how well conditioned both of these athletes are as they go into this bout. And Chris Magnus now trying to fight away with some kicks and dazes sensational Wayne Atkins here. And Magnus thought he was going to get the super kick. No, Wayne Atkins, though. Could we be seeing a submission? Oh, rolling over to a pin? What? And just like that, Wayne Atkins makes short work of Chris Magnus. Chris Magnus now knows the sensation Wayne Atkins is a force to be reckoned with. But look at the code of honor we see here by these two gentlemen. This is the type of fights we like to see here in World Fighting Showcase.
The World Fighting Showcase returns live to CJ's Bar and Grill in Kingsport, Tennessee, Saturday, May the 15th at 8 p.m. You'll see all the stars of the World Fighting Showcase compete inside the ring in the Barroom Brawl for the CJ's Bar Championship. Also, the Ultimate Athlete, David Anthony, will be in action defending his WFS American Championship. All the stars of the World's Fighting Showcase, the action you have come to expect from the WFS, Saturday, May the 15th, 8 p.m. at CJ's Bar in Kingsport, Tennessee. The World Fighting Showcase, where we fight strong. Hello fight fans, Dallas Danger here, and if you're like me, you love all the action here on WFS Showdown every single week, but you don't want to wait until Saturday to see all the stars of the World Fighting Showcase. Well, I have great news for you. If you go to WFSinsider.com and become a subscriber today, you'll be the first to see Showdown each and every week. WFSinsider.com. For less than $5 a month, you can become an insider.
This is not just a podcast. House of Kayfabe with Brian Resner and Stephen New. This is a tribe of devoted super fans that have crashed through the barricades, torn down barriers, and broken through the fourth wall. This is a creative think tank full of people who have given way too much of their lives to professional wrestling to not be getting a paycheck. This is a secret society of elite fans from all over the globe. And guess what? It isn't a secret anymore.
House of Kayfabe, featuring Jim Cornette's lawyer, Stephen P. New, is available now on all major podcast platforms. Just click subscribe to join the Kayfabe stream and get access to unbelievable interviews, in-depth discussions, hilarious segments, and exclusive content. This is the fan-driven podcast you have been looking for.
House of Kayfabe with Brian Resner and Stephen New.
between the Scottish sensation Murphy Costigan and the Ultimate Athlete David Anthony is well documented in the World Fighting Showcase. Of course, Murphy Costigan defeated David Anthony back in 2019 to win the television title that he still holds up to this point. But we're going to take you back today in our special WFS throwback to where that rivalry began. It was March the 23rd of 2019 in Newland, North Carolina for Luck of the Draw. The very first time that Costigan and David Anthony locked horns inside the squared circle. So without further ado, let's go back to that matchup in Newland, the first time ever Murphy Costigan versus David Anthony.
Referee checking on both champion and challenger. This has been a hard-hitting affair, and he will begin his count. Fighters in the ring will have to the count of 10 to get back to a vertical base. Costigan to the ropes as the referee's count is to 6. Costigan using the ropes to get to his feet. David Anthony as well back on solid ground, and they're exchanging right hands. European uppercuts. David Anthony dropping the elbow. Ducks under the right hand, flies in with a clothesline, and gets the best of Costigan. There's a second one, and the fans are firing up behind the Ultimate Athlete. Costigan catches the kick. Anthony rolls through. Setting up Murphy Costigan. Flying forearm smash there by the television champion. Continues the onslaught, but Costigan there with the boot, and the lazy boy knees to the back. David Anthony, they're showing the wear and tear of the attack by Costigan. Does get to the cover there and almost very nearly gets the 3, but as I stated before, David Anthony, the WFS television champion, very clearly beaten and battered. Costigan takes down the champion very quickly to the cover, and very nearly a new WFS television champion. Say what you want about the attitude of Murphy Costigan, but he was that close. Fierce competitor. No slouch inside those ropes by any means, and he's shocked. He can't believe it. He doesn't know what to do next. And now he'll turn his attention to arguing with the official, and David Anthony with the schoolboy from behind. And that's it. David Anthony. Make no mistake, no matter who you are, you cannot turn your back on the Ultimate Athlete, David Anthony, or you will suffer the same fate. Great match from both competitors, but David Anthony still the WFS television champion.
The World Fighting Showcase returns live to CJ's Bar and Grill in Kingsport, Tennessee, Saturday, May the 15th at 8 p.m. You'll see all the stars of the World Fighting Showcase compete inside the ring in the Barroom Brawl for the CJ's Bar Championship. Also, the Ultimate Athlete, David Anthony, will be in action defending his WFS American Championship. all the stars of the World's Fighting Showcase, the action you have come to expect from the WFS, Saturday, May the 15th, 8 p.m. at CJ's Bar in Kingsport, Tennessee. The World Fighting Showcase, where we fight strong. Hello fight fans, Dallas Danger here, and if you're like me, you love all the action here on WFS Showdown every single week, but you don't want to wait until Saturday to see all the stars of the World Fighting Showcase. Well, I have great news for you. If you go to WFSinsider.com and become a subscriber today, you'll be the first to see Showdown each and every week. WFSinsider.com. For less than $5 a month, you can become an insider.
This is not just a podcast. House of Kayfabe with Brian Resner and Stephen New. This is a tribe of devoted superfans that have crashed through the barricades, torn down barriers, and broken through the fourth wall. This is a creative think tank full of people who have given way too much of their lives to professional wrestling to not be getting a paycheck. This is a secret society of elite fans from all over the globe. And guess what? It isn't a secret anymore.
House of Kayfabe, featuring Jim Cornette's lawyer, Stephen P. New, is available now on all major podcast platforms. Just click subscribe to join the Kayfabe stream and get access to unbelievable interviews, in-depth discussions, hilarious segments, and exclusive content. This is the fan-driven podcast you have been looking for.
House of Kayfabe with Brian Resner and Stephen New.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and will have a 15-minute time limit. Introducing first from Raleigh, North Carolina, weighing in at 235 pounds, Drew Hood. And his opponent from the Pain Clinic in Mobile, Alabama, weighing in tonight at 230 pounds, the Doctor of Destruction, Dr. Joe Briggs.
And the doctor is in as Joe Briggs takes on Drew Hood. Briggs trying to get the early onset to this match. Now going with a half Greco-Roman knuckle lock. No! Switches around to a wrist lock to take Drew Hood down to one knee. Hood trying to find a way to get back up, and he does reverse it now. Great hammerlock into a side headlock to the doctor. Joe Briggs now really got that cinched in, but Joe Briggs gets Drew Hood off of him, and a shoulder tackle takes down the doctor. Joe Briggs attempting to go for more here, and a leapfrog by Drew Hood and a hip toss. Wow. Joe Briggs claiming superior intellect here. The jury's still out on that one because we haven't seen who's got the W yet. As Joe Briggs continues to get pummeled with a side headlock takeover to Drew Game. Excuse me, Drew Hood. And look at the way that Drew Hood has said, come on. Ref checking, trying to stop the hair pull. I am your host for World Fighting Showcase, the voice of tradition, Jonathan Darwin, as Drew Hood gets put right back into the corner, and Joe Briggs attempting so he can get a clean break. Oh! What a headbutt right to the solar plexus of Drew Hood. And now Joe Briggs in control again after he knocked the wind out of Drew Hood, coming off the ropes in a shoulder tackle. Joe Briggs trying to go over. Fantastic leapfrog by Drew Hood and a hip toss takes down the Doctor. And now we get the arm drag takedown and Drew Hood back in control just that quickly. And referee checking to see if we got the submission here. Drew Hood says, no, I'm not giving it up. And oh, what a leg drop by Drew Hood to Joe Briggs as Drew Hood continues the devastation on that left arm there. Fans calling for the left arm of Dr. Briggs to be broken. And Drew Hood has no problems complying with that request. And got it really cinched in now on the left arm. But Briggs instinctually able to get over to the corner, get the clean break. And the clubbing forearm with the right arm goes to work on Drew Hood. Drew Hood swept into the corner and oh my gosh, no! Oh! I tell you what, I thought the speed of Drew Hood was going to be impressive there as he planted the boot right in the mush of Drew Hood. But the speed of the Doctor is something to be content with as he now pulls apart the left leg and damages the knee of Drew Hood with two elbows and a knee to boot. Doctor says to Drew Hood, I got a prescription for you. That prescription? Pain. And Drew Hood is making sure that there is possibly no way that Drew Hood is able to get back up.
The World Fighting Showcase returns live to CJ's Bar and Grill in Kingsport, Tennessee, Saturday, May the 15th at 8 p.m. You'll see all the stars of the World Fighting Showcase compete inside the ring in the Barroom Brawl for the CJ's Bar Championship. Also, the Ultimate Athlete, David Anthony, will be in action defending his WFS American Championship. All the stars of the World's Fighting Showcase, the action you have come to expect from the WFS, Saturday, May the 15th, 8 p.m. at CJ's Bar in Kingsport, Tennessee. The World Fighting Showcase, where we fight strong. Hello fight fans, Dallas Danger here, and if you're like me, you love all the action here on WFS Showdown every single week, but you don't want to wait until Saturday to see all the stars of the World Fighting Showcase. Well, I have great news for you. If you go to WFSinsider.com and become a subscriber today, you'll be the first to see Showdown each and every week. WFSinsider.com. For less than $5 a month, you can become an insider.
This is not just a podcast. House of Kayfabe with Brian Resner and Stephen New. This is a tribe of devoted superfans that have crashed through the barricades, torn down barriers, and broken through the fourth wall. This is a creative think tank full of people who have given way too much of their lives to professional wrestling to not be getting a paycheck. This is a secret society of elite fans from all over the globe. And guess what? It isn't a secret anymore.
House of Kayfabe, featuring Jim Cornette's lawyer, Stephen P. New, is available now on all major podcast platforms. Just click subscribe to join the Kayfabe stream and get access to unbelievable interviews, in-depth discussions, hilarious segments, and exclusive content. This is the fan-driven podcast you have been looking for.
House of Kayfabe with Brian Resner and Stephen New.
Knife edge chops now by Joe Briggs. And Joe Briggs has Drew Hood over in the corner. And look at the way that Drew Hood is stretching out. Excuse me, Joe Briggs is stretching out Drew Hood's knee. Oh! And a drop kick. Using the ropes for extra leverage. Joe Briggs slapping around this young man. And Joe Briggs now just dismantling the left leg. And oh! He could be trying to do some long-term damage to Drew Hood. As Joe Briggs, very sadistic in his behavior. And slapping around Drew Hood. And Drew Hood fighting back. Joe Briggs has made sure that Drew Hood getting back to a vertical base is null and void. And continues that work on that left leg. Oh, wow. That could really shatter the kneecap. But we're seeing a submission maneuver applied by Joe Briggs now. But Drew Hood saying, I will not quit. I will not submit. And you hear the fans trying to help Drew Hood get back up. Use the adrenaline to make you not feel that pain, to make you be able to fight back. And Drew Hood with the right hand now is able to fight back. But look at the way he's grasping that knee. As he tries and just limping around the ring now. Flopping it around maybe. No! Little drop kick to the left knee of Drew Hood keeps him down. Excuse me, Drew Hood down. And Joe Briggs going for the pin again there. And Joe Briggs, look at that. Using the ropes for extra leverage again. Joe Briggs says to Drew Hood, stay down, young man. This is over. And Joe Briggs now just playing with Drew Hood. But Drew Hood is one tough competitor here. And, he blocks the strike of Joe Briggs. And Drew Hood gets one of his own. He gets another one, but just that fast. Joe Briggs takes Drew Hood back down because Drew Hood is not able to put any weight on that left leg. I tell you what, Drew Hood may need to see the trainers in the back after this bout. There could be potential damage there for the short term or long term to that left knee. And the doctor has him up in a reverse headlock, but wow, desperation move by Drew Hood. I don't know if he's got the energy to get over there to cover Joe Briggs, though. Drew Hood in some serious trouble. He is trying to fight back. I don't know if he can get up. He's got one leg up. He's got the second leg up, but he's not putting the full weight on that left leg. And we see an exchange of blows here. But Drew Hood gets the upper hand as he goes to work on Joe Briggs. Whipping Joe Briggs off to the ropes and coming off, and a big clothesline takes down the Doctor of Destruction. Big elbow now. And Drew Hood looks like he might have Joe Briggs' number with that spine buster. But if you take a look at the way that Drew Hood came down, that put extra pressure on that left leg. And that might have been the difference between getting the 2 and 3 count there. As Joe Briggs is worse for wear, but so is Drew Hood, limping around the ring like an injured animal. As Drew Hood goes to work on the left arm now. And Joe Briggs whips Drew Hood into the corner, and whoa! Elbow stops the Doctor. And Drew Hood attempting to measure Joe Briggs. And wow, drop kick, but no one home. And there you go. You see the added damage to the left knee now with the fact that no one was home to receive the drop kick. And wait a minute, inside cradle. 2 count only though. Wow. That's something by Drew Hood to try to come out again. Wait a minute. Don't. Only gets the 2 count there though. Give it up to Drew Hood to be able to try to fight back. And wait a minute. Drew Hood has him off the rope, possibly a pin. No, what? Wait a minute. You gotta be kidding me.
Here's your winner, Dr. Joe Briggs.
You know, it may not have the camera angle, but in my 10 plus years of fight broadcasting, I would put dollars to donuts that Joe Briggs grabbed the trunks of Drew Hood so that Drew Hood was unable to get back up. Doctor may have the winner's share of the purse, but he does not have the respect of the fans here in World Fighting Showcase.
I'm the toughest, I'm the smartest.